Hello and welcome to the Horror House Podcast. I'm Dave.
I'm Chris.
I'm Jeff.
And I'm Tim.
We're four guys that talk about horror stuff. Every week. Every week we're here.
We don't have to be, Chris.
We're here every week. We're here. And this week, it's not a movie. This week. Tell them what we're doing, Tim. This is Tim's.
We're talking about one of my favorite things is horror video games. So we're going to talk about horror video games. And I am saying horror, not Leisure Suit Larry games. Horror games.
I got to take a couple things
That
on the
is
list
a
real
great
quick. Hold
fun
on.
game.
Enunciate. But yeah, horror games. So we're going to discuss them. I have some not activities, subject matters, topics, not topics, categories. That's what the word I'm looking for. Categories of games where I have picked out my favorites and want to discuss them with you guys a little bit. See if you've played them and so on and so forth. I've asked these guys to kind of come up with their own as well. And we'll just kind of, jive off one another and hopefully have a spirited conversation concerning this topic, which again is horror games. The Horror Games podcast will be on OnlyFans.
Speaking of which, coming soon.
That's Chainsaw Massacre. Massacre.
Well,
Massacre.
I found this Kickstarter that I thought everybody would like to talk about, which is Prostitute Growing Simulator, but I guess we're not going to talk about that tonight.
It's like a chia pet, but it's a prostitute.
It's like those gardening and electrician PC builder simulators, except you grow prostitutes. Is the premise.
Or a Dr. Frankenstein.
Believe it or not,
Yeah.
they've not met their goal. So, but first,
Support.
That's sad.
For independent game development.
we have some news. A little bit of news, anyways. So,
The newsroom.
it's news
All
time.
right.
Who wants to go first?
How did I come up with any news today? Because we're going to be talking about my favorite topic anyway. So,
I'll go first.
All right.
There is 2 new photos of the Toxic Avenger. The new reboot
nice.
coming out. It's Tim, if you want to peruse it, I put it in the upcoming movies section. It is actual pictures of Toxie. Check it out. I don't know. We have some opinions on it. I'm sure you guys have some opinions out there. Let us know. What do you think? I'm intrigued. We shall see.
I've been in for this movie for a long time, so nothing. I don't know that anything could necessarily dissuade me at this point.
Elijah Wood rubs me the wrong way as a person. I don't trust him. It's a weird. I don't know. Even since the 90s, I've had a feeling about that kid.
I think he seems like one of the most wholesome people I've ever seen in my
that's
entire
what
life.
that's what he wants you to think.
That's what he wants you to believe.
He didn't pull
those
no wool
are
over
exactly
my
people you
eyes.
don't trust.
I watched a horror movie with him not too long ago where he's like a substitute teacher in a school. It's like a zombie movie, I think.
I have no idea what that is.
Was it Cooties?
It might have been Cooties. Yeah, I think it was actually. He's in that though. He's like a substitute teacher or like a history teacher or something like that.
Oh, a horror comedy for you?
Yeah.
The girl in my 6th grade class made a movie about her condition.
Oh, bam. Got her. Got her.
So,
Wherever you're at, girl in Chris's 6th grade class, you're feeling burnt right now.
Dave, news.
You got any? Yeah, I did pick up something. I've been hitting all the Goodwills, and I did pick up something I'm debating about whether to take it to the Horror Hound Weekest with us, which is 9 days away, to get an autograph. It is a VHS movie, a VHS horror movie, awaiting the signature of one Devon Sawa. It is Casper.
Nice.
Devon Sawa's first role, uncredited, as Casper, the friendly ghost. So, I also at the same time picked up 2 great DVDs. Leo
Shutter Island,
in
yeah.
Shutter Island. Shutter Island is excellent.
Yes, it is.
And one of my top 5 comedies of all time, Spaceballs the movie.
Yes.
Oh.
I love Spaceballs. It's still shrink wrapped.
That's
Fucking
amazing.
great.
Have you looked up how much that's worth?
No, but I did see today that shrink wrapped original copies of the original Resident Evil for the PS, because there was no PS1, it was just PlayStation.
Mm-hmm.
Have gone for as high as $7,000 once they've been graded.
Jen just, thankfully, speaking of that, found my jewel case for Legends of Dragoon, which is my all-time favorite PlayStation 1 game. Found that last week. I thought I lost it forever, and she found it. So, super excited about that.
Very cool.
Not to be confused, Chris, with that game where you ride the dragon.
Hands or Dragoon?
Every time you bring that up, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that. And you're like,
Like, no, you don't.
Panzer Dagon?
dragon?
So Mike Flanagan, man, I love me some Mike Flanagan. The House on Haunted Hill. He did some other shitty fucking series. We don't want to talk about that. Midnight Mass, Hush, Oculus, and now he's making a sequel to The Labyrinth. I don't know how I feel about this.
Like
I don't
Labyrinth
know
with
that-
David Bowie?
Yes. Yeah.
I've never watched it.
is
I
the-
just know.
Is the public clamoring for a Labyrinth sequel?
I feel like
I
it's probably
don't- I
got
just
some
don't know.
hardcore, like, cult fans, but I don't know if that's gonna.
Sure. There are.
That's cool.
I'm not trying to yuck nobody's yum. There are grown adults who are like, oh, we don't need no kids to go watch a fucking Disney movie. Okay, Stu.
I mean, technically
And-
Marvel
and-
movies are Disney movies now.
Speaking of which, we did go see the new Captain America last weekend.
I've heard it's terrible. Is it terrible?
I wouldn't say it's terrible. It's I kind of feel like the MCU with Infinity War and Endgame. That was such an emotional catharsis that
Nothing else compares.
they should have just fucking dumped it and started from scratch. Give it a couple years and start from scratch and build it the way they originally built.
Right.
Because now they're doing what DC kept trying to do, was force these connected worlds, and Marvel feels like that. Like, we're trying to force this shit back together.
Right.
Just, you fucking did it, man. Like,
I don't think they even need to start
Infinity
over.
War
That just
in
recast people. They won't recast
Yeah,
Iron Man or Captain America or Black Widow or whoever, and so we get replacement characters, and I'm like, I couldn't care less about these people.
But you might if they just scrapped that
No.
and said, "Fuck that, that's all gone. Let's do a whole new set of stories." I'm just, you won, Marvel. You won. Endgame and Infinity War. You won. That is, they really are cinematic masterpieces. They are action and emotional, and you loved this journey that you went on, and now it's over. It's time to move on, man. She gone, Kevin. She gone. Get your new bitch and get back on that horse.
Their biggest fuck up is, what's that kid's name from Stranger Things? He's in Fantastic Four as the Human Torch. What's his name? The Master Puppets kid.
Oh,
Joseph Quinn.
yeah.
Yes.
Chris Quinn, yeah. There.
Put a mustache on him, and I swear to God, he's Robert Downey Jr.'s offspring. He should have been a younger Iron Man they brought over, but no, he's fucking Human Torch. They didn't ask me, stupid assholes, so I don't give a fuck what they do. Burn it all down.
I love me some Pedro Pascal, so I'm in on the Fantastic Four movie. We started Daredevil the other day, and the Daredevil, the original Netflix Daredevil series were so good.
So good.
The first episode of the new Daredevil Born Again, it ends with a gut punch. Spoiler alert. I'm not going to tell you, but
I'm excited to watch. I am so behind on MCU like TV shows. Like haven't watched Loki season 2. Didn't watch Echo.
Loki was good. Echo, I could take your leave.
We watched She-Hulk.
I thought it was entertaining. I mean,
I like She-Hulk.
It's not the kind of thing you can take seriously, I don't think, but it's entertaining.
And I like the Captain America Winter Soldier miniseries, and everyone shit on that, and I was like, that was so fucking good.
Well, I thought that was pretty good, but what was the Skrull Wars and Secret Invasion thing that they did?
Oh, I haven't watched Secret Invasion.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Especially the last episode, like it wasn't bad in parts, and then the CGI and
That's a
big
problem.
fucking full on Fonzie jumping the shark in the last episode is like, you have ruined. I want my money back for the show that I didn't pay to watch.
We could have a whole episode on how bad CGI has gotten in 10 years. How did it go?
It has declined in quality so bad. I don't understand.
It's because all the good people work for Netflix now.
Can only assume after the 2016 election that the aliens were like, "Fuck this place, I'm out of here," and they've taken their technology with them.
Did they bring the sneaker children over to do CGI? Is that what those slaves are doing? That's fucked up.
The sneaker children have aged out.
Yeah, we're old now.
They hit puberty, and it's like, fucking get out of here. We need young bloods making our iPhones.
You get to work in Disney's basement. Next to the cryo labs.
Let's see. I think. Oh, there was one last piece of news I had, and it relates to the topic tonight. Is there is a trailer now for Silent Hill F, and it is set now in Japan.
There's a Silent Hill A, B, C, D.
I don't know. I'm behind on where this franchise is, but
Silent Hill 1 and 2 just got remakes. The 2 remake just came out like a month or two ago. My wife. Well, we'll talk about this more when we get into the video games. We talked about Silent Hill today, but yeah, I don't know. I'm not up to date on Silent Hill.
Yeah.
In the movie.
Yeah, it's really good.
I mean, the aesthetic for the first 2 Silent Hill games and movies even are great. Pyramid Head and those fucking nurses and shit. And
I was sexually assaulted by one of the nurses.
I was there. And Chris, spoiler alert, Chris, we love you. Chris is a little bit of a chicken shit in the haunted houses sometimes. And we went past Pyramid Head. Chris couldn't wait to get past Pyramid Head. And then we got into the nurse room, and they started doing their fucking janky walk. And Chris was like, fuck that, I'll take my chances with Pyramid fucking Head.
One of them grabbed my ass.
Yeah, that was good times. Fear Fair, man, they're shut down because somebody got on their climbing wall when they weren't supposed to and fell and got hurt and sued, so they can't get insurance now. So whoever you are, I don't know your name, I don't know who you are, whoever you are, you're a piece of fucking shit.
Yeah. Go climb another wall and fall off it again.
Dumb.
That is true, though.
Please go out there, climb up as high as you can, and try to land on your head this time.
Yeah, negligence is... You shouldn't be able to sue for your own negligence.
Well,
it really is bullshit. I mean, this wasn't a kid who, like, okay, a kid taking part in our services. I know I've got to have eyes on him. You're a grown ass fucking adult. I gotta babysit you in my place of business.
I mean, I've been to Kings Island, and I'm like, I look around, and I'm like, half these people are gonna die.
I mean, several times a year you hear stories about people like, oh, she stood up on the fucking roller coaster, janked her fucking harness and stood up on the roller coaster and got beheaded. I shed no fucking tears for those people.
No. That's your own fucking fault.
I do a
Darwin
laughter.
word.
I love roller coasters. I have no fucking desire to make them more dangerous than they already are.
That's Darwinism at its finest, though, really.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Except the fucked up ones that are nobody's fault except the people that made it. Like
Yeah,
when the girl,
like the girl who got
Yeah,
her feet
no,
cut off at like, yeah,
Yeah, that's different. That's a whole fucking different thing. Yeah,
that's
fucked up.
terrible. We're
I
talking
don't
about
laugh.
people that
I don't
like,
laugh as
people
hard
who do
at
things
those
intentionally.
ones.
The people that are the reasons why you have a warning sticker on a fucking set of steak knives, like, hey, warning, these are sharp. The fuck? What? A knife is sharp? Thank you for telling me that.
Coffee's hot.
Right. You're the reason why, after almost 100 years of air travel, they still have to tell us how to work the fucking seatbelts every time. I think we can master fucking seatbelts at this point in society.
I have been on planes where I did not understand how the seatbelt works. So I appreciate, because they got like weird fucking like Class B old school
I
bullshit
don't-
sometimes.
I'm not sure why they don't just put the fucking regular seatbelts like in your car.
Yeah.
In an airplane.
So you've
Don't
been on those
understand
planes
that.
too, where they have like weird jank ass seatbelts that like you have to like unclasp, put in, then reclasp and shit.
Roller coasters have different fucking buckles too, from coaster to coaster.
Yep.
I have such anxiety when you get in a new one because I'm like, I gotta get this fast or they're gonna go off without me and I'm gonna die. I mean,
Chris, remember the time you almost killed us on a theme park ride?
yes. I look at him and
This
I
is
go,
why-
this one? And he's like, yep. I'm like, right here, pull this one? Yep.
Chris and I went on the sky swing together, 150, 200 feet in the air, and he started pulling on the wrong cord while we were
I'm like,
at the
we're like
apex.
this close. Come over here. Lean over.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. They go 1, 2, 3, fly or something. So I pull it, and we don't fucking move at all. And I'm like, I guess it's this one then. And then there we went, and we didn't hit
There
the
we go.
ground unless
We did not hit the ground,
that's where we died. And
and then this is our hell.
This is
Yeah.
all, you're in the simulation at that point.
every week we're here.
It
Hell's
makes
not
it sound
that
like a
bad, though.
chore.
All right. Well, I guess we're ready to leave the newsroom then.
Out
Right,
of the
newsroom.
newsroom.
I just bought that on 4K. Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Oh, nice.
It's
Nice.
pretty good.
Very nice.
I mean, you already know it's pretty good, but the transfer is pretty good.
So yeah, today we're talking about horror video games and getting away from movies for a little bit. Same genre though. We're talking about horror video games, and some of these you could really consider horror movies, because a lot of the story horror is becoming really. It's like a choose your own adventure. If you guys don't know what story horror is, it's like a choose your own adventure sort of deal, and it's gotten really popular here in the last like decade.
I thought
So-
story horror was when you had to read.
Yeah,
That's
it's
scary.
in front of the class. That's all it is. Just puts you in a chat room with like 100 different strangers, and then it pings you, and it's like you have to read this passage, and then you have to try and read in front of 100 strangers.
He approached me with his turgid member.
Now explain what you just read. And I'm like, I fucking read it. I was worried about fucking not tripping over my words, you stupid fucking cunt ass fucking school. Sorry. I was triggered.
Chris is having post-traumatic stress disorder right now.
I literally,
but I-
real quick, I read a thing about building the pyramids. And he goes, what did you learn? What did that say? Summarize that. And I'm like, it was how they built the pyramids. And he's like, how did they build the pyramids? I'm like, I don't fucking know. This is a 7th grade fucking history book.
You can comprehend.
I should have quit school in 6th grade.
Be 2 different classes.
You hear me? Quit school, kids. Fuck that shit.
What'd you say, Jeff?
You should have quoted the Stargate movie to him.
Just a whole monologue, just a Stargate monologue. So the guys asked me how we wanted to do this, and I originally was thinking like eras, like 1980 to 1985, 85 to 89, that whole thing. And then I realized that like I thought genres would be more fun because genres are kind of like eras when it comes to horror video games. Like one of my genres that I have on here is isometric. 1998, Resident Evil. It's an isometric. It's probably the most famous isometric game. So I've got on here the categories that I have so far are retro, 2D. So that could be not necessarily retro. Newer games are on there as well. I did put in Castlevania because I think Castlevania is kind of its own. Metroidvania is its own thing, but Castlevania is definitely its own thing, and those are definitely horror games. Isometric, first-person shooter, psychological, atmospheric, PvP, co-op, story, hack and slash, action, and survival horror. Survival horror is a super broad. If you guys look at Steam, it's a super broad category.
I'm hot. I'm cold.
Plus, isn't the point of all these horror games to survive?
It is, and that's the issue. They don't do a lot of subgenres on Steam, which I hate, because I was kind of trying to use them to like figure out what my genres were, but it's not very good for that. So I had to like sit down and look at it.
But Steam
but
Spring Sale just started, so this is the perfect episode to be watching right now.
Oh, that's true, and I actually have Steam pulled up. Popular discounted games.
Oh yeah, and type in Horror House 4 in the use that code and probably get nothing, but it's worth a shot.
It's worth a shot.
You could get everything for free. You never know till you try.
you never know. But I figure I'll just kick it off here with you guys and your favorite retro horror game. Like pre 2010, I guess, is what the kids consider retro these days.
Before graphics were made.
How the fuck old am I?
PS2 is considered retro now, Dave.
Good lord! So everything I've ever played.
Would you say, Jeff?
Into the ring
I have so many horror
with
games.
a little NES tree called Maniac Mansion.
Oh, okay. I'm going to look each of these up. I've never played Maniac Mansion.
Chris, did you ever play Maniac Mansion?
I rented it quite a few times. I was a little too young.
It is a point-and-click adventure.
Yeah.
You had multiple characters, and you got to pick 3 to go on your adventure with you, and they each had different skills. And so there are multiple endings, but it is possible not to be able to complete the game if you pick a bad combination of characters. It really was a pretty difficult game.
The music is good. I'm listening to it right now.
It's a solid game, and they actually made a sequel called Day of the Tentacle.
Yeah,
that
just got remade or
did not play,
remastered or something a couple years ago.
Yeah. So
you could microwave the hamster. That was like the big thing for me.
That's awesome. I've never played this. It looks good. It's looking at the graphics here. It's very high end in NES. Like this is like
LucasArts.
It came out in 1987, which is,
wow.
I mean that's
pretty early in the NES days. But this, I mean, looking at the art style is pretty high end NES. I mean, there's lines. It's not just pixels. Like there's lines to these characters.
That's pretty awesome. That there's mad scientists and alien tentacles, and it is a solid game. It was a lot of fun.
That's awesome.
That I never could get anywhere until the walkthroughs came out.
I'm gonna I'm gonna make a list of these because I would like to try at least some of them out after you guys tell them to me. And I have all these awesome handheld emulators that I can play them on.
Well, for me,
So that'd be awesome.
I think the biggest one, like in that era for me, was Friday the 13th. And that was like I was too young to even know what Jason or Freddy or anything like that was. So, but by the time I could play this, I was jump scared every fucking time going through the first person cabin shit, because then you get the pop of Jason and the pop of the music. We could put that on right now, and it would still make me shit my pants.
Yes, it's so fast paced when he pops up, and it's scary as fuck.
The whole, but it didn't. It wasn't just jump scares. Like, you're under pressure for the whole thing because you have to get around this map, which is fucking backwards when you open it. It's a broken, stupid game. It's a piece of shit, really. But it's
so fucking hard.
But you have to get around to these cabins before Jason kills the campers, or you lose. And you have 6 characters, and only 2 of them are worth fucking anything. You could kill the other 4. You could just have 2 characters. You lose those 2, you must start over. But yeah. I thought it was great at the time.
I had an idea for a horror video game that I was thinking of when I was going through this list for myself, and my horror video game idea was actually like basically Friday the 13th. I was talking about how like horror games, indie devs for horror games, they need to like focus on quality over quantity, and I think they should sell like 2-hour romps for like $20 as opposed to like trying to come out with all these like PvP horror games. My idea was a Friday the 13th game done in the style of Hitman, where you play as Jason Voorhees and you get a score based on how interesting your kills are. And they could do like
I could go for that.
Friday the 13th, like part 1, part 2, part 3. They could do all the different movies, so you have all those characters. Sell it for $20 a pop, make them only 2 hours worth of gameplay, but then it has infinite replayability, right? Because you're trying to get the highest score with the kills.
The newer Friday the 13th that just got shut down like the end of last year ended up having that kind of a thing. It wasn't a whole lot of it, but they would give you, I forget how many there were. Not a lot, but enough to have you something that you could still kind of fool with since the game shuts down. Or shut down. But like, you had a couple little scenarios where here's the house, there's people in the house, figure out how you're gonna take them all out. And
that's awesome. So yeah, that was my, so you brought it up, and I was gonna talk to you guys at the end of this. I kind of want us to brainstorm what a perfect horror game might look like between the 4 of us. But that was one of my ideas, was like a Hitman style horror game.
F, did you ever play the Friday the 13th?
The latest one, not the NES.
Okay. I have a T-shirt that has, in the old Jason Friday the 13th game style, it says, it's got Jason, it's got the counselors, and it says, "You and your friends are dead."
Yes, that is one of the best things. When you die, it's you're dead, your friends are dead. Fuck off.
Yep.
Start over.
That's awesome. I have played it once or twice in my life and never got very far. I need to revisit it on one of my emulators for sure. But Jeff, what is your favorite retro horror game?
I'll probably say my first introduction to horror games. My friend had a game called Hugo's House of Horrors.
Oh, I don't know this one.
Point and click.
I gotta look it up too.
That's not a video game, it's a snuff film.
This looks very much like your
this is real death.
Maniac Mansion.
It does look like Maniac Mansion.
It does.
I've never seen this before.
Oh, okay.
Which one came out first?
The music is not as good. The music is trash.
I'm still listening to
Hugo's
Maniac
House
Mansion.
of Horrors, 1990, so this is a little bit later.
Oh, then
And
maybe
it's not
they
as
got,
good looking either.
maybe they got some
but-
inspiration. What did you like about it, Jeff?
Yeah.
It's just my first introduction to horror video games. I mean,
Did it do anything like that you're like, oh,
I
that's
don't
cool?
remember. I just remember the name.
It's a cool name.
It is a cool name. I'm looking at a walkthrough here. To let you guys know, the walkthrough on YouTube is 11 minutes long.
Is that a walkthrough or a speed run?
I don't know, but there is a scene here at about 6 minutes and 12 seconds where he's walking through a backyard, and it's got like a 3D element to it, so that's kind of cool. It has like a depth element to it, which I dig. You didn't see that a lot in NES. So basically, like Cannonball Run and shit were like the most 3D you could get back in the day. So this is pretty cool, but it is. This is like indie dev as fuck. It's you guys remember Quest on PC? After they did like the text only Quest for like DOS, they did like a NES for like not an NES version. It was still on PC, but very much reminds me of that. Very monochrome, but this is. For some reason, I'm at 7 minutes in, and this chick is now wearing a box on her head. I don't know what the fuck is happening in this game, but I like that the walkthrough.
She's ugly and trying to get laid.
The walkthrough is 11 minutes, so I think I'm going to definitely give this one a shot. Hugo's House of Horrors.
All right.
So my favorite. And this one is near and dear to me because it's like one of the first things that Chris and I ever bonded over. Zombies Ate My Neighbors on SNES. We played the absolute fuck out of that, and I'm a little bit younger, so I played a lot of NES, but sort of SNES is like my childhood for the most part. And Zombies Ate My Neighbors is fantastic. The first video game I ever tried to play with my son, who was only 3 years old, is Zombies Ate My Neighbors. Because they use water pistols, so it's not super violent.
Until they get missiles.
But do what?
Until they get missiles.
Until they get missiles, yeah. But I want to point out that I think this might be the one and only game on Nintendo where babies get killed. Like, there are baby survivors, and they can be killed by the zombies.
True. That is true.
So I was like, this might be darker than I remember.
They seem pretty stupid, though. Like
everyone does.
It's kind of their own fault.
But yeah, Zombies Ate My Neighbors. It was a great game, and the co-op was fantastic. I think it's not an underrated game because I think it's on a lot of people's like top SNES games. But
it's
for the new generation,
it was Genesis and SNES.
It was on Sega as well. But my whole thing is like for the new generation, if you got a best friend, this is one of the most fun games you can play with a friend. It is absolutely fantastic, and it's loosely horror, right? It's got zombies in it,
yeah.
But it is.
Well, it's got a lot of homages to horror. Really.
Yeah, a lot of homages to like horror movies and stuff. But it's fantastic. So, Zombies Ate My Neighbors. I think everyone here has probably played that.
Yep. I remember when that came out and renting that. It was great. I want to give a honorable mention to Fester's Quest, also of the NES fame. Which,
yes, I played Fester's Quest.
Chris is hiding his eyes. I liked Fester's Quest to a point.
I rented it quite a few times.
It gets a little repetitive when you're playing because you have to play it start to finish in one sitting. There is no passcodes or saves or level skips.
Gen Z, back in the day, if you didn't win a video game, you had to start the entire video game over again. Disney games are some of the hardest fucking games from the 90s that you've ever played in your entire life.
Unreasonably so.
Yeah.
It's not even intentionally. Like, they just accidentally put the platform a little too far. So if you don't make your jump perfect, you're fucking
Yeah,
toast.
it's
Or-
very pixel perfect
bullshit.
gaming. Aladdin and Lion
oh,
King will fucking eat your lunch and ask for more. It is rough.
DuckTales is
There's a
badass
point
though.
in-
DuckTales is
But-
awesome.
There's a point in Fester's Quest kind of late in the game where there's a narrow alley you have to go down, and
If you
It's
have the
not
gun
like
that
there's-
does that.
yeah, like the guys are coming at you, the enemies are coming at you. If you have the wrong gun, because there's a gun that shoots this swirling bullets, but because the bullet comes out of your barrel and swirls around to the right in this narrow alley, you can't shoot anything because it'll hit the fucking bushes and you can't kill anything. So if you have the wrong gun when you get to that point, game over, man. Fuck it. Sorry about your luck.
10 out of 10.
That's amazing. So then we have 2D games. I don't know if anyone, I mean, it kind of falls under the realm of retro unless you play newer 2D horror games, which they do exist. And so I'll just go ahead and give mine first this time. Death Road to Canada. It's absolutely fantastic. You can play it co-op. It's like an homage to Oregon Trail, except you're trying to escape to Canada because zombies can't survive in the cold. It's Oregon Trail mixed with a bullet hell, and it is rough. It is really, really, really hard. But a lot of fun. So like you drive your car, you make little stops to get supplies. Sometimes you have a gun, sometimes you don't, and there's always zombies around, and it's a lot of fun. But it's difficult. It's got that kind of Stardew Valley new 2D look to it.
Right.
Ton of fun though. A lot of fun with friends.
For me, it's been maybe 2 or 3 years since this came out. Carrion is a great game.
Very good.
You're like this. It's kind of pixely, it's side-scrolling. You're like an amorphous, Lovecraftian tentacle blob thing, and like a military base kind of deal. And you just wreak havoc and get bigger as you go, and it's a lot of fun.
I thought about making reverse horror one of the topics, like where you play the monster. But I so rarely play those games because I don't like being the bad guy that I didn't really know anything to talk about. This looks really good though. It's got that like Super Meat Boy style.
Kill through you.
It fulfilled my fantasy of being the actual blob, and I thought that was great.
That's
Like,
all. It looks
didn't know
really good.
I
It
didn't know
looks
I wanted
very
this.
fast.
Question: do you get to make love as the blob in this game?
Depending on your perspective, you make love to everybody you kill.
Wow, there's a lot of tentacles.
There's a lot of
You
tentacles.
son of a bitch! I'm in. You son of a bitch! The entire island nation of Japan is in.
Is that on Steam?
I just saw it on. Yeah, it's on Steam.
Oh, it's $6.
It's 70% off right now. It's on sale.
Damn.
It can be yours for the low price of $5.99, depending on where you live.
Get it. Chris and Jeff approved.
You can get the deluxe edition bundle for $12.57, which includes the game, the soundtrack, and DLC.
It's worth it.
Nice.
Very good game.
They have another game called Butcher.
I know of it, but I've never played that one.
It's the same studio. Yeah, I'm looking at it here. It looks kind of like Broforce a little bit, but more dark.
Oh, actually, I there's one other one that I need to mention for this like throwback retro-y kind of style, and it's Binding of Isaac, which I've played top to bottom countless hours, and still play it every now and then. But it's top to bottom horror. I mean, you're essentially in hell,
Right.
and you use your tears as a weapon. Because it's and you're essentially trying to work your way through hell to kill your mother, who is the big bad. And then I think after that, I think you fight. God, it's been a minute. I don't want to get but there's different bosses. Each stage is a different boss, and it's random. So sometimes you'll get a poop worm that like shits all over the stage, and you have to contend with being confined by the poop while you're trying to kill the worm. And then there's like a big fat thing that like shoots pee at you as his eyes come out and fly around. And if you're not sold on that already, I don't know what to fucking tell you.
Right.
I meant to do an honorable mention.
Chris. Easy. I'm trying to leave my pants on this episode.
I meant to make a mention for retro. Honorable mention was E.T. the video game on the Atari 2600. It's unfucking playable.
Fuck that game. Yeah, fuck that game. God damn.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
We owned it, and I tried to play it.
Did anyone with an Atari not own that game?
Did they just give it out as you walked out of stores in like 1983?
Yes.
They're like, here, take this.
They were so worried when we were young that adult women were going to come and abduct us that they gave us that game as birth control.
That's what it was.
And it worked. I didn't see a female tit for 10 years after I touched that game.
How many man tits did you see, though?
Way too many.
That's
One.
Right.
One is way too many. 2D horror. So bear with me if this doesn't fit, but it was kind of where I was at, and maybe it fits somewhere else in here. Plants vs. Zombies is what I
absolutely.
Yeah,
that's dope.
I love that game. It's so fucking fun.
It is.
It is great fun.
That is.
I love tower defense games. That is one of the better ones, for sure. And that is a game that I 100%ed and then went back and did like the re-challenge levels where like you do it in like super hard mode. Never beat it on super hard mode. But I mean, I love tower defense games in general. I've never beat one and then been like, you know what? I'm going to replay this on super hard mode because tower defense games are hard enough just by themselves. But yeah, that's a great game.
That's the first game I ever bought on Steam. 2009 or 8, maybe 7.
Woo!
I forget.
Congratulations.
Phenomenal game.
Yep.
And then they ruined it by coming up with Plants vs. Zombies 2, where they did all the dumbass microtransactions.
Yeah, I was so disappointed with the second one. But I will say the FPS one that they came out with was actually pretty fun while it was active. When those servers were active, that was a lot of fun.
I remember Matt telling about like when I used to go and pick him up from your guys' house on the weekends. He would talk about that quite a bit. I never got around to playing it, but he always talked about how fun it was.
It was great. And there were like team games, but then there were also like FPS tower defense where you are the plants and you're setting up defenses, but you're running around in FPS. Like I can't think if there's was it Mazes and Monsters or something like that where you're FPS, so you're shooting, but you're also setting traps as a tower defense game. So it was kind of that blended. Yeah. And there was that mode too, and it was so much fun.
If you like that, Orcs Must Die, which is not on my list, but Orcs Must Die is that same sort of genre where it's third person, it's not FPS, but it is run around a 3D map and set up tower defenses. It is one of Orcs Must Die 2. Jen and I played at least 20 hours of together. It is fantastic if you guys like that sort of thing. So more into the fantasy realm than horror, but yeah, it's really good.
Heck yeah.
Also, Dungeon Defenders, which does have horror elements too. I never thought about that, but yeah, we played that for a little while. Me, Chris, and Jen. Dungeon Defenders.
Really, any kind of fantasy game has some horror elements because there's so many.
It's always got Draugr or fucking yeah.
Skyrim is a horror game. No,
can be with the right mods. Skyrim is creepy as fuck. It's good. Jeff, you have a favorite 2D horror game?
Limbo.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yes,
that's a good one.
I didn't even think about Limbo.
Puzzles.
Yeah.
Very dark.
Limbo's awesome. Little Nightmares is also in that same vein as Limbo, but Limbo was fucking. It was creepy. It was.
It was
Good, but
for such a simple aesthetic too. It was really beautiful.
Yeah.
yeah.
So
The spider
I remember
at the beginning is still
Yeah.
crazy.
So I played Limbo before it even came out at PAX East one year because they have all those indie devs that are there at PAX. So I got to sit there and play it for like before it even came out. And when that spider, like it was the very first level, when that spider leg comes out and like you see that whole thing, I was like, holy fuck, this is creepy as shit. Yeah, Limbo is awesome. That's a fantastic pick. Yeah. You guys at home should be writing these down because they are, so far, with the exception of maybe Hugo's House of Horrors, which I do have written down here as Jeff's pick for retro, they all look like gems. I can't speak for Hugo's House of Horrors. I'm gonna play it though, and I will let you guys know why. I watched the 11-minute walkthrough and then do my own 11-minute walkthrough.
You should do a
we'll see how it
10-minute
works.
walkthrough because who would fucking need the 11th one then? Speed
Do
run.
what?
You should do a 10-minute
speed run it?
walkthrough, and then who would
You're
need?
right. And you can post it as a VOD to our Twitch channel.
Yeah. Why would
There
you
you
want
go.
8-minute abs when you can do 7-minute abs?
Yeah, exactly right.
So-
That's a great pick. I think that might be the best pick of all our I mean, Binding of Isaac I know is a classic for a lot of people, but Limbo is one of the creepier 2D games. Okay, Castlevania. Do you guys have a favorite Castlevania?
Uno.
Number 1?
Yep. Without
I
question.
I liked the character choice and the branching paths in 3 a whole lot. And I gotta admit, 2 is absolute bullshit, and I still love it.
Yeah.
It is. If you've never played Castlevania 2, the RPG element was hot shit, and so they were like, let's turn this into an RPG, and it's not an RPG. You can't upgrade, you can't really fucking level up. Like, you get the different whips, but it's not like you level up and choose stats and all this shit. And the townspeople will fucking lie to you. There are tasks you have to do that make no sense. Like, get the blue orb and kneel beside the river, and there's not one fucking clue that that's what you do. No other time do they like, oh, kneel with the blue orb and things happen, and then you know, oh, I'm just going to try to kneel with the blue orb everywhere. No, not a fucking thing, except for one fucking time. It's fucking bullshit. It was designed, I feel like, to sell the Nintendo Power.
There you go. Chris, why is Castlevania 1 your favorite?
It really throws back to like a lot of classic horror. I mean, you fight just giant bats, vampires, obviously,
Medusa.
wolves, Medusa heads, which is everybody's favorite Castlevania villain. The platforming, and then you get hit by a thing you can't avoid, the Medusa head, and then you fall off, and you're like, why am I even playing? If I can't win, why am I playing? But the Frankenstein and Igor is another fight in that's just like so many fights in that are characters, and the music, and really in the first 3 Castlevanias easily, maybe probably even more than that, but the first 3 specifically is some of the best video game music you could ask for, in my opinion.
Gotcha. Jeff, do you have a favorite Castlevania game?
No.
No. You're not a Castlevania fan?
I mean, I played Castlevania games, but I never really paid attention to what it was. I was like, oh, here's a game. Pop it in.
Right.
Play with return it.
Right. So my favorite one, and I will admit that I am a recent Castlevania fan. Played through and beat Aria of Sorrow, and then I went and replayed Bloodlines from the Sega, and Didn't get very far. I will say the graphics in the Bloodlines was really good, especially for that era. And then I did play the first one. Didn't beat it, but I got pretty far. Aria of Sorrow is definitely my favorite. And again, it might be because it was the first one that I ever played and like beat, but it had this sort of not necessarily Mega Man, but kind of Mega Man sort of thing to it, where you kill monsters and you have a random chance. It's like a 1% chance or something like that to gain powers from them after you kill them. So like you kill a skeleton, you get a throwing spear, like because the skeletons throw spears, right? You kill an imp, one of the like little demon imps that like floats around and tries to kill you. You can actually summon a little imp that will attack enemies that are close by. They don't do a ton of damage, but they at least stun them for like half a second so that you can like get close and stab them with the sword. Also, famously, doesn't have a lot of whips in it. It's mostly swords, which is weird. But it's really, really good. And it was between that and Symphony of the Night, which was the one on PS1, OG PlayStation, that starred Alucard as the main character. And again, more swords than whips in that one. But it was really, really good. So, and I will say the story in Aria of Sorrow is really cool. I'll spoil it for you guys real quick. So you're going through this castle because your friend like got some sort of like sleeping sickness or got knocked out or whatever, and like you're like, okay, I have to go find something to like get her out of here. Turns out that you were actually really summoned there because you are the next vessel for Dracula's soul. And so like the reason you're obtaining all of these monster powers is because you're like bulking up your body to accept Dracula's soul. Kind of a cool premise, so I liked that quite a bit. And then he did have a sequel, which I have not played yet, which with Soma Cruz, which was the main character from Aria of Sorrow. So I really, really enjoyed it. And the music in that is also very good.
That sounds great, and I have a lot in common with that character because I'm also bulking.
Always bulking. It's more chimichangas.
Chris, you're muted.
I saw a Craigslist ad once to accept Dracula. Like,
okay.
Well, there you go.
Our powers combine.
I kind of
in the corner. In the corner.
Oh.
But yeah. So there we go. Next up is isometric. Do you guys have a favorite isometric horror game?
So would that be Dead by Daylight?
No, this is more like the top-down kind of.
It's more like fixed camera angles. So like original Resident Evil, Devil May Cry had isometric camera angles. It's more like where the camera is set in one place and then you're like moving around with that in mind.
I would have to say the original Resident Evil, the early Resident Evil, because they really are great. There's I alluded to it in the TikTok for the show tonight, this morning, or a couple hours before we started today. Resident Evil is the best-selling horror video game franchise of all time for a reason. And that first one, it was clunky as fuck sometimes, but it was the best thing we had at the time. It was so good. The only thing that really pisses me off is the whole, you have to turn before you can walk.
Yes, the tank controls.
That is such a fucking pain in the ass. But if they remade it and just fixed that, I'm in all day.
They did remaster it, something like that. I got it on like PS Plus like years and years ago, and I played that as the 2 remake was getting ready to come out. And I want to say that there was updated controls, or you could like switch between them if you wanted to. And it was,
so the HD remake came out on GameCube originally,
it was still not it.
Yeah, it still has tank controls for sure. But my camera got flipped up a little bit. So yeah, Resident Evil 1 had the tank controls. But yeah, it's a classic for sure. It's amazing. But yeah, the HD remake did have a little bit better controls and definitely had better spatial awareness. So you could kind of tell, like, especially if you're using the knife a lot. Can you guys tell I've played a lot of Resident Evil? So, yeah, much better spatial awareness, but it is still even the HD remake, which I wish they would just. I know why they don't do like a Resident Evil like they did with Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 3, like a remake like that, because the mansion is such a closed space. It'd be so fucking easy to like win if you had 3D controls. I still think they should do it though. But yeah, the tank controls are, I think, a big gripe for that whole, like, Silent Hill was isometric. I mean, even Devil May Cry was isometric, and that was PS2. But it, the controls are challenging for sure.
Yeah.
Wait. Jeff, do you have a favorite isometric horror game?
Not sure.
Did you play Silent Hill?
No.
No. Devil May Cry?
No.
Resident Evil?
No.
0, 1, 2, or 3?
No.
Code Veronica X?
No.
Shit. I don't think Jeff has played an isometric horror game, guys. Onimusha. Did you play Onimusha?
No.
Fuck. Okay.
Have you played Super Mario Brothers 3?
Yeah.
That's not.
I was just asking. I was just talking.
Well, Chris, what's your favorite isometric horror video game?
I mean, this probably goes more in the hack and slash, but really, I mean, the Diablo games.
Oh.
But they're not really isometric, because I mean, it's not like
As the camera moves.
The scene moves. Your camera's always like there, but like you can you still have a world you can move around in. You're not like
right.
I just got like speech jammed, but visually. I accidentally had the Twitch, come up, and I saw my hand waving, and it broke my brain. Anyways, I'm like, I'm not doing that. It was so weird. Anyways,
who's controlling my hand?
I'm not real. Hades is another good one that I've played quite a bit of. But I would say Diablo, Marvel Heroes, if I could say that, but I can't, but I would.
4,000 hours, guys. He suddenly takes a drink.
2,600.
2,600.
And going up, because I can play it again now.
My pick because I'm a big Resident Evil fan, but Onimusha, however you want to pronounce it, is my all-time favorite. I'll tell you why. So Resident Evil, I played through that. I played through the HD remake. That was really the first time I really got into Resident Evil, was the HD remake. I played Resident Evil 2 on the N64 at Chris's house many times. I got freaked out quite a bit, especially during the liquor part. That really fucked me up.
I guess it was all hallway.
Fuck that hallway. But Onimusha was awesome because if you guys have never played Onimusha, it's fantastic. One, the swords, you get to use swords instead of guns, which is cool because swords have unlimited ammo, so it's not as survival horror as Resident Evil. But two, when you killed creatures, you got to suck up their soul with like a special gauntlet that's part of the story. So you were constantly leveling up your character, which I really liked. So like when Resident Evil, especially the original one, it was really in your best interest to kind of avoid the zombies, not engage them. Conserve ammo for boss fights, shit like that, like get away from them. Onimusha rewarded you for killing the horror elements. which is really cool. So I really like that, especially as a younger kid. It was kind of a not instantaneous reward, but it was still like you were building to something. And you could say the same thing with Resident Evil, with like getting ammo, getting grenades, shit like that. But Onimusha felt more like you were leveling your character as opposed to just getting equipment. So Onimusha is fantastic. Onimusha 3 actually had the French guy from Leon the Professional, by the way.
Glasses.
So, yep. So, yeah, if you guys ever want to get into the story of it, and also you're fighting Nobunaga, which is a
In his
very
native
famous
French,
samurai.
it's called La Professionnelle.
Well, I'm sorry. Yep, a la professionnel. But yeah, no, the Onimusha is
His
fantastic.
name is Vidal Sassoon.
Is Soul Reaver isometric?
It's not. It's 3D, but Soul Reaver is fantastic. I would consider that. I didn't actually put this. I'm going to put this down as a adventure horror, which I have a pick for that off the top of my head, and it is part of the Soul Reaver series, but not necessarily Soul Reaver, but it's really good. So adventure horror.
It's Psyops, The Line. Or no, that was Spec Ops The Line.
Spec Ops The Line, yeah.
Where you were a war criminal.
That could be considered a horror game. If you've played through Spec Ops The Line, you'll know what I mean. Okay, so up next we have FPS horror. Anyone have an FPS horror pick?
COD Zombies. COD Zombies. The old kind of. They're more actiony now. But back in the day, they were hard as shit. They were atmospheric. And it was, if we were in the mood, we'd kill a whole night doing Black Ops 1 zombies.
Yeah, 6, 7, 8 hours. Easy.
And
I think one time Chris and I played it so much that my Xbox overheated.
I would.
And I had to like shut down for like 30 minutes to like keep playing.
I do kind of remember that.
Yeah.
How about Doom?
Oh, yeah.
Doom, I think Doom's a lot of people's favorites. Doom is a fantastic choice. Jeff, you got to have an FPS horror pick.
The Darkness.
Oh, that's a good one.
Oh, yeah. I like that. I like that. I forgot all about that game, but man,
that game blew my mind. Because I'd never played a 3D game where the triggers were the guns, like the shooting. That was the first time I'd ever done that, and I was like, and then
The Darkness was good.
I've spent millions of dollars on video games ever since. It's been a real problem. The Darkness was so. What did you like about the Darkness?
Yeah. Jeff? What do you like? What do you like most about the Darkness? Like, what sticks out to you as your favorite game?
I just remember playing it for hours. Second game came out. It wasn't as good as the first game.
Oh, there was a sequel.
Yeah. I don't remember much about the game, really.
Just remember feeling it.
I want to say that you were killed by the mob, or something like that. You gain powers.
It's very much The Crow, but with more guns
and little demon
friends
that were voiced by Mike Patton from Faith No More, Mr. Bungle, which was pretty cool.
I had a mod, so it was voiced by Patton Oswald instead.
He just talks about Ambien the entire time. Dave, what was your first foray into Doom? Was it the original Doom?
Yes. So my best friend Daryl at the time, his dad had it on the PC, and so that was my first experience with any FPS, and I was just blown away. And I remember how giddy I was the first time we learned the God mode. And then it was like, oh yeah, I am so awesome at this game. Of course I'm awesome at this game. I just unlocked I just put myself in God mode. It's just it blew me away. Like I said, that was my first FPS, and then the imagery, the demons and the beholders, and I was just in. Like everywhere you looked, it was just skulls and fucking lava, and I'm going into hell, and I'm like, fuck yeah, man!
The copyright safe metal music.
Yeah.
I spent my whole teenage years being told I was going to hell, so when I got the chance to play a video game where I went to hell, I'm all in.
Jen's honorable mention for this is Heretic, which is a Doom clone, but you get to use magic. And that was her first PC game she ever played when she was like 6 years old, and she talks about it to this day.
I was also.
She loves
the
Heretic.
movie that they just came out with based on that game, starring Hugh Grant. That's great.
If it had ended going into Heretic, the video game, 10 out of 10 movie. I'd have loved it so much more. Spoilers, that's obviously not how it ended. It didn't lead into that game.
And then, Chris, you said COD Zombies, which is near and dear to our hearts. We played that a lot. I
got to say one more thing for FPS before we move on. Really not because it was one of my favorites, but just because it was so popular at the time. And it was kind of at the time when it was a lot easier to post your own video clips onto YouTube and wherever. And you and Jen have a clip, or had one back in the day, I don't know if it still exists, of you two playing this, is the Slender Man, the first version of that game. Everybody was on this thing, and for me, like, it was so fun to watch people play this and see the clips of them getting legitimately so scared. I remember the first time I played it, I was like, I don't know, because you want to like speed through it, but at the same time you're like, I'm gonna have a heart palpitation if I keep this up.
That's a fantastic one. It was almost my atmospheric pick, and didn't end up being it, but my FPS one is Fear, the original Fear game. Really good, very creepy, lots of jump scares, but still like a grounded like first person shooter, which is really cool. But yeah, I almost did
with the little girl ghost.
Yeah.
Was that 3?
3 was a co-op with the captain of 2, which was he was like the bad guy of 2, but he was the ghost in 3, and that's Jen and I played through 3 together, and that was a lot of fun. But yeah, Point Man and the first Fear, it's fucked up. It's a weird sort of like, because you go from like high octane action to like deep fucking jump scare horror, and it's fucking weird. It is weird. It's a whole like Final Fantasy VII sort of story where like the mom is also the daughter, and like it's a weird fucking story, but it's good. So yeah, Fear is my pick. It's very good if you guys have not played it.
Yes.
It's excellent. All right, so broad spectrum here. Psychological horror. Things that fuck with your psyche. Anyone got a pick for this?
For me, I think Alan Wake fits this bill for me. The first Alan Wake, and at least the first 3/4 of it. By the time you get to the end of Alan Wake, you're kind of in this rinse and repeat mode, so it loses a little bit of its effectiveness. But the first 3/4, and I'm not typically the guy that overreacts to the fear level of a video game. It's a fucking video game. But Alan Wake had me feeling some kind of way for a long, long time. So
it's good. It's excellent. Actually, one of my picks on here.
You do have the gun, but your primary weapon is a flashlight. You're constantly collecting batteries for. It was.
I think the gun is honestly there to like make you feel safe, but it's really useless in the scariest parts of the game.
Isn't like your main weapon a flashlight? Isn't that more
love the story?
The flashlight is your main weapon.
Look into the
I
light.
love the story too, like that, because
Yeah.
they had the part with the cabin, and they talked about the
I'm gonna
was
need
it
to
your
hear.
girlfriend's suicide or something like that? I don't. It's been several years, but I heard Alan Wake 2 is way better than 1, so
Yeah,
I'm
I've
intrigued.
I've heard the same. I haven't played it yet.
I'm gonna need to hear some more
Same.
psychological ones before I can decide. I'm really
So-
not sure.
I picked Outlast because Outlast really fucked with me in my head. Like, it was the first. They call them like walking simulator survival horror, where like you'd never get a weapon, you can't, but you had to use that night vision camera to see. But then like there were some times where enemies could like, at least one part in that game where the enemy could see the infrared light. So you had to like basically scan the room real quick to get it. It was a square room, so it wasn't that hard. You had to scan the room real quick to like get a bearing and then walk around in complete fucking darkness trying to avoid this enemy. There are clips on Twitch of me freaking the fuck out at this game. It scared the ever loving fuck out of me. And I played through it on Twitch. But the music was good, the story was decent. But that was my first like walking simulator one, and it freaked me the fuck out. Like I was scared all the fucking time. It was great. So it really subverted my expectations of horror games, because I was used to like Resident Evil 4, Resident Evil 5, Resident Evil 6, where it was like it's more action horror. And then I played this like walking simulator, which I still haven't played Alien Isolation. I need to play it. But that's what kind of spurred this genre on, and like this one fucked with my head super bad. So yeah, Outlast is it for me. Jeff, you got any picks for psychological horror?
American McGee's Alice.
Oh,
American McGee's Alice.
who EA owns the
Oh.
rights to and won't let him make another one.
They were good. They came out on the PlayStation.
I do know this game.
And then there was
That's
the
a good one.
Madness Returns.
Really
Wow.
good.
Was the Madness Returns a remake or a sequel? I don't. Sequel. I played a little bit of the Madness Returns, but I know of the those were cool. What did you like about those games? Or that game?
The art style and the going into like the horror world of Alice in Wonderland that wasn't
Yeah.
wholesome or something like that. It was like really messed up, and she's a little girl who just like kills people.
It's even the base story is kind of horrific for Alice in Wonderland if you start breaking it down. And the original story by Lewis Carroll is filled with innuendo that of like grooming and SA and all this shit is kind of there, but not out in the open in the original Lewis Carroll story. So I can only imagine how easy it is to turn Alice in Wonderland into a horror fucking story. So that is awesome.
I
Have you seen the
remember.
Alice in Wonderland?
Go ahead, Jeff.
There's a
Say
musical
that one more
version.
time.
There's a musical version of Alice in Wonderland that has like a lot of stars in it. Jeff Bridges in it. Jeff Bridges' dad, Bo Bridges, is in it. Shelley Winters is in it. Carol Channing. And there's a part in there, it's like it goes horror because it talks to her about the Jabberwocky, and so she's got to fight the Jabberwocky. So like that part of the movie is just horror.
The that was a fun fact about that game. I tried to rent it at one point, and Mom, Dave's wife, would not let me rent it. So
That's the wrong person.
yeah, would let me rent it.
Wow, she let me watch American Werewolf in London when I was 5. So
Didn't let me rent Alice.
Jackie's favorite movie when she was 4 was I Am Legend. We watched that motherfucker daily.
you got some grievances to air next time you see her, Tim.
No, I think it was I think she was pregnant with Matthew at the time. So I think she was maybe feeling very, very like protective and didn't want me to subject myself to anything too scary, which is probably in her best interest, really. But yeah, no, I remember vividly being like, "Oh, this looks cool," because it was like the little girl with a bloody knife in her hand. I was like, oh, "I'm gonna play the hell out of this." Meanwhile, I can't make it past the first 20 minutes of Resident Evil 2, so not really. But yeah, she wouldn't let me rent it.
When we when you boys were young and we first started dating, like she's like, I love zombie movies, but I can't watch them. They give me nightmares every time. I said, well, you're gonna have to get over that because I love me some zombies, and now we love the shit out of zombie movies.
Nice.
So she will let me know if I pick a movie for us to fall asleep to that's not sufficiently violent. So
What is this pussy ass shit, Dave? That's how she talks, trust me. Internet. Let her see this tomorrow so she can recoil and fear that the internet thinks she's abrasive like that. That's how she talked to me.
She just like, Dave, I don't want to watch The Substance while you fall asleep for the 54th time.
I assure you, one of us does fall asleep almost every time, and it's not the guy on the podcast right now.
I would fall asleep to The Substance
I
as
watched
well.
the worst Justin Long horror movie I've ever seen in my life last night. There's only one death in the whole movie. Spoiler alert. Justin Long's in the movie, and there's only one death. So that death is Justin Long. And it doesn't come until the very end of the fucking movie. It's all Justin Long talking in that fucking nervous, fucking stumbling over himself way that he does so well. And it's the worst.
This isn't Tusk.
Worst.
This isn't Tusk.
No, it's not near as good as Tusk.
Oh my god, I hated Tusk. I am so weirded out that the internet seems to love that movie now.
They do. They go crazy
We
over
might have
that
to do it
fucking
on the
movie.
show.
But
I don't think I have one. I don't think this is a genre that I care for. Like Alien Isolation, Outlast, and all that. Those games are more frustrating to me than anything.
See, they're frustrating to me too, but I think that pulls me into it more because it's like I want to beat it regardless of my limitations.
I just
but
quit
yeah,
playing
no,
them because I'm like, this isn't
I've only
scary.
played,
It's
like,
just making me
3
try to figure
minutes of
something out
Outlast.
that I can't figure out while I'm under this pressure of this big mouthed thing and amnesia trying to track me down. I'm like, I don't want to pick up the
I've only
I
ever
have
played,
also
like, the
beat
first 3
Amnesia.
minutes of Outlast.
yeah.
Fuck it off.
Okay, so Atmospheric, I'll just go ahead and go first on this one. Atmospheric, I picked Alan Wake because I love the music in that game. I love the different places that you go in that game. Like you go from like a shitty motel room to like a lumber yard, and like you go to all these really different places, and they still somehow make it creepy. Even though it's like completely different locales, they really set the atmosphere. Silent Hill does this as well, but they always have the fog, so it kind of takes me out of it. Whereas Alan Wake like takes all these different locales and makes them creepy, which I really, really like. I think that's very inventive. So Alan Wake is my atmospheric pick.
Excellent.
Anyone else have an atmospheric pick? Don't have to.
Jeff, you
Bioshock.
want to go?
Bioshock.
Oh, Bioshock's good.
Yeah.
Steampunk, but
Very
also
good.
underwater. So you always have like a sense of claustrophobia. Because it's like you can't go outside because outside's fucking water. Like you can't.
Anytime you're walking down a hall and it'll have like the cracks and the drips, and I just knew every time I walked down, I'm like, this is it. They're going to fuck me over right here.
That is a great pick.
Yeah.
I chose the one we mentioned last week, The Suffering, where you are a man who is accused of murdering his wife and daughter. Spoiler alert, you're guilty as fuck, but it's because there's a demon living inside of you. And in the prison, hell comes to the prison. And there's so much lore and story that goes with it, and about the brutality of prison, about slavery, and all these different fucking things that it just. I'm a lore whore, and it just weighs on you at some point in this game, and it still is very entertaining. So it's possible that you do too much of that shit, and it's like, oh, this is just fucking depressing. But it was still entertaining, and I did like it.
That's awesome. I've not played that one, but I'm gonna buy myself a new handheld, Metroid Pocket Flip 2, which can play PS2 games. So
Tim,
I think
you only have two
give that one a
hands.
shot. I know, and I have 7,000 fucking handhelds. I love collecting them; they're so fun. But Chris, what's your atmospheric horror pick?
This maybe goes in a different genre, but I'm putting it in this one because it is atmospheric to me, at least. And that's a game that
a lot of these movies cross genres. So.
Yeah,
or a lot of these games cross genres.
One that me and Tim and Jen have played a fair amount of, which is Phasmophobia. And it's stark difference from when you're in the lobby. Tim's going to get to pee or get a drink, and me and Jen are throwing shit at each other, being dumbasses. And then we go to the house. Tim gets back. We go to the house that's haunted. Immediately, we're like, "Quit fucking around!"
All business. It's all business.
Come with me. I'm not staying here by myself.
Yep.
And then
who has the fucking flashlight?
Yeah. When the lights flicker, when you hear a ghost. I've screamed playing this game. Literally screamed and woke everybody in the house up because I am a piece of shit, and it scared the shit out of me. But we never go to the jail anymore because that place is fucking scary. I could every place. The log cabin in that place is fucking scary.
Yep.
And you never know, as soon as you walk in, you're like, is the ghost in this room? And it takes a while to... And it's not just a ghost. It's like a demon or all these other fucking things that I don't even remember.
Or an Oni or a Banshee or a... Yeah.
Yeah. And so... I think it's done nothing but improve since we first played it. And I highly recommend playing it.
Yeah. Phasmo, it's especially great with friends. It's really good in VR. The bonus of VR is I can hold a flashlight and a tool in one hand at the same time, which is great. The downside of VR is it's way fucking scarier. The ghost gets you. So there's that. But
my favorite thing in VR was the first time when you're trying to figure out how to get something out of your belt or whatever, or put something back in. You're like, how do I?
So yeah, it's pretty great. Yeah, Phasmophobia is top notch for the atmosphere for sure.
So
next. So we got PvP. I bet Chris can guess my favorite PvP horror game.
Evil Dead the game.
It's not Dead by Daylight, but I assume that's most everyone's favorite PvP horror game. But yeah, I'll let you guys go first.
I'm gonna guess yours is that Resident Evil game where you played against people. Was there one you played against people? I may be thinking of a different thing.
Think of the horror game that I have played the absolute most of my entire life.
Super Mario Brothers 3.
Hubert.
I could give you a hint, but it would give it away.
Give me a hint. A vague hint.
Brain.
Bring me the horizon.
You know what it is. I can see it in your eyes.
I really don't.
Say it 3 times in a row, real fast.
Oh! I got it. That's only.
I'm lost.
It's a inside of shit. Daisy.
Oh, okay.
It's-
Okay.
Yeah, Daisy is it's absolutely phenomenal. What Daisy does, so I've played Chris and I used to be on voice chat together, playing separate games.
Marvel Heroes. Daisy.
I'd be playing, yeah, he'd be playing Marvel Heroes, we'd be playing Daisy. We wouldn't talk for like an hour at a time, and then be like, "What are you doing?" Chris would be like, "Oh, I'm leveling up Cyclops." Like, "What are you doing?" "I'm running from a Apache helicopter on a bicycle." Like, it was hilarious. But yeah, there was one time in Daisy. So Daisy is really good because like when you start off, it's really, really horror oriented if you delve down to like the psychosis of it, because like at the beginning the zombies are the biggest threat. Then you get guns, you get ammo, you get all this shit, this big ass sandbox. And then people are far and away the biggest threat at that point. Like if you have shit, people will kill you. If you don't have shit, people will kill you. So it's my favorite. But there was this one time where I was playing on a modded server where you could get like helicopters and you could get like all this other shit. You had to still grind for them. It was still a fucking like if you found a helicopter, you had to like get parts for it. Go find them in the world, bring them back. Hopefully you were the first one to bring all the parts back to like fucking fix this helicopter and get it back up. I had killed a guy in one of the main cities of this game, and he had some buddies, and so they had a helicopter. They were really well geared, so I killed this guy, and his buddies were really well geared. So I got all of his gear. I was really well geared, but I had a bicycle. That's all I had. It's the greatest way to get around DayZ, just so everyone knows. Doesn't take gas, doesn't take tires. You just fucking take it. But you have a horn, and it's bring, 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 bring. It's the fucking bicycle bell. That's what it is. So his buddies flew a helicopter to come get me, to kill me, to get his stuff back. And so I'm just hauling ass. Tapping shift and W as fast as I fucking can to pedal this bicycle. They're chasing me down the main highway of this fucking server. I'm on a bicycle, just going bring, 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 bring. One of their buddies like drops out and tries to kill me. I like run him over so it like breaks his legs. He falls down. I jump off. I shoot him in the head a couple times. Jump back on my bicycle. Bring, 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 bring. I'm just ringing the bell as they're chasing me with a fucking helicopter for like 2 hours. It was one of the greatest video game moments of my life.
He's
so
a
yes,
loner, Dottie, a rebel.
DayZ is 100% my favorite PvP like horror game. It's so good. It's so fucking fun.
We were Steam messaging each other, just text, and we're like, "What are you doing?" "I'm playing Marvel Heroes." "What are you doing?" He goes, "I'm bringing people." I'm like, "What the fuck does bringing mean?" He goes, "I'm riding around a bicycle fucking with people." I'm like, "Oh."
Yeah.
Ringing the bell, bring. I'm like,
yeah. So it's phenomenal. If I talk you guys into gaming PCs to where we can play horror games together, we will do a mini series on us playing DayZ.
Can I just be color commentator?
It will be so much fun. I will get you guys so much loot. Chris can tell you, just by looking around myself in 360 degrees, I can tell you where we are on the map and how many minutes it will take us to walk from where we are to where loot is.
These are true things.
I am a fucking fiend. At least 500-600 hours in that game. Easy.
Good Lord.
So anyone else got PvP games? I assume Dead by Daylight's everyone's favorite, but I don't know.
Dead by Daylight. I played a lot of 7 Days to Die for a while.
I love that game too. Jenna had a great base in that game.
It's a little bit of a bitch, especially when it first came out, and it was a little bit of a bitch because it was a little bit broken sometimes. But
yeah,
it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
Jen and I found a hill in that game. We were on a PvP server. We were playing with like randos. We found a hill that was perfect. It was like 20 squares wide and like 20 squares high. Big ass hill. We dug into the side of it, built a base inside of the hill, and then we built a door and everything, but on the outside of the hill, we left one square left where the hill originally was, and we'd always place a dirt pile right there, and it blended in perfectly with the hill. But it was right in between two trees, so we knew where it was every single fucking time. So we could easily dig out that dirt, go into our base, put the dirt back down, go into our base, and we could smelt and everything. And like, I remember one time we were playing, we could hear people talking. We were obviously sitting next to each other, so we could just talk to each other. I hear someone with a forge in this hill. Like, they could hear us. They dug and dug and dug and could not fucking find us. And so, like, we refilled in the hill where, like, they dug and shit. But yeah, 7 Days to Die is super fun. Jeff, any PvP horror games have you played?
Not much in PvP.
Yeah, it's not for everyone. I get a little too hardcore into it. Chris, what about you?
I guess it probably would just be Dead by Daylight. The
Vision.
The Vision.
I mean, the story of the Vision is the H1N1 outbreak, and
Oh yeah, Division was.
Yeah. I fucking hate the Division. You know why? Headshots don't fucking matter. That's why.
The Evil Dead game from a couple years ago was also. They just didn't support it the right way, and it just kind of fell off. But it was a great Evil Dead kind of experience, and being the demon in that was really cool. You could possess trees, you could possess their car they're driving, and fuck with them, and spawn the Deadites, and it was a lot of fun. So it just, if they had put in as much as the Dead by Daylight guys did into that game, it could have been crazy. But
Dead by Daylight is so deep, so many characters, so many fucking perks, so much shit.
I don't get the hype around that game, because it's, as the killer, like, if I'm trying to win, like, there's like this weird sort of like community aspect of it. It's like, if the killer puts you on a hook, they can't camp you. That's just a community rule. If I'm the killer, I'm gonna camp the fuck out of you because I want to win. I'm gonna camp you till you die. I'm gonna go get the next fucker. I don't give a fuck about your community rules and like your gentleman's rules around like fucking killing people. No, fuck you. I'm trying to win.
I don't see why anybody would be butthurt. There's a trade-off for that. If you're camping that guy on the hook, I can fucking repair generators without fear. So
yeah,
there's a trade-off.
Always
every
bitch.
strategy. Yeah.
But yeah, we can. We're getting kind of long in the tooth here. Co-op games minus Phasmophobia. Anyone else have a co-op game?
I think I'll probably say that.
Yeah, it's super good.
Not
Which
obviously the original. Not is it Dead Rising 2 that had co-op?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jen and I played that together.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. I mean, especially when that game was out, like Matt was early teens, I think. So there wasn't like, we're gonna grind this and win something. Really, it was more like, we're gonna troll each other and have fun and just
see how goofy you can be.
Yeah, it was a lot of fucking fun.
Jeff, you have any co-op games that you really like?
Left 4 Dead is pretty good.
Yeah, Left 4 Dead is awesome.
Yeah,
I didn't even think
Left
of that.
4 Dead is a great series. Some of the behind the stuff scenes for Left 4 Dead were really interesting, where they're talking about, well, we didn't want just a big sign that said go this way, so they played with dark and light, because they said players naturally are going to move to the light, and so the goal was, no matter how much you move to the light was constantly moving ahead towards your goal, so you're constantly moving. It is such a good, fun game.
Yeah.
That's
the
how I
dialogue
still
in it is fantastic.
guide myself in games sometimes, because of that information, I'm like, this looks more like the way that they intended. So I'll kind of, but like the light, the dark, like this is more, yeah. That's always in my head playing a game where I don't know where I'm going.
And then when you're playing and you hear the fucking witch crying, that is a puckered asshole moment right there. So
Shut the fuck up!
On a game that's really so kind of arcadey.
For Tim, that's a challenge. I always attack the witch every fucking time without fail. I fucking hate that bitch. I don't have any problem with
that. But I'm just saying, and I'm not saying like it's equivalent to fucking boss jumping up on you or something like that. But Left 4 Dead is kind of arcadey.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, and
pistols have unlimited ammo. Yeah.
Yeah, so that moment just it really brings you back to the horror of that game.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. We would always like when you hear the witch, you stack up with your friends, you make sure everyone knows where the witch is at, so that way no one gets picked off. You know, it for sure brings you back to the game. 100%. My whole thing is they call me what I like to say is Trump's bank account. I'm always Russian. You know what I'm saying?
You're morally bankrupt.
Yeah. That too. Okay. But I'm always Russian. So like if there's a hard enemy, I want to be in its face, blowing said face off. That's what I like to do. So the witch
blowing the hard enemies. Understood.
Yep. 100%.
And low face.
But yeah, no, the witch, it does cause you to stack up. It does cause you to like reevaluate where you are in the game, kind of come back to the game and like get out of the whole just like shooting zombies in the face, reevaluate like who has medkits, who has stims, who has this. And then Tim immediately is like, okay, they have enough stims and medkits to make me full again. That's great. I'm going to go shotgun this fucking bitch in the face until she dies. So that is my Left 4 Dead strat. But yeah, no, it is definitely a masterclass in game design. Chris, did you gave a co-op?
Yeah, I just agreed with you.
Yep. Story. I picked Until Dawn because it's really, really good. Does anyone have any other story horror games they want to talk about?
Indigo Prophecy.
I really liked Until Dawn. I'm with you on that one. I'm excited for the movie.
Me too.
Even though it's not going to be quite the same mechanic, but it's going to play with the time and with the different killers. Because I've never finished Until Dawn just because I don't find myself with the time to invest. If I didn't have a 3-hour fucking commute to work every day, that might be different. But I do like Until Dawn. And is it a slasher? Is it a Wendigo? Is it killer clowns? What the fuck am I fighting here? Everything.
It's Indigo Prophecy. I have never seen before, and this box art is super fucking like contrasty. It stands out.
I've heard of
it, this looks,
but I never played.
This looks pretty good. It looks very what I'm looking for here. Oh, he has the disc right there in front of him. Indigo. He really likes Indigo Prophecy, guys.
There you go.
This looks really good. It reminds me a lot of
very story-driven game. I like the Hard Rain. Do you guys know that one?
I know of it. I know the meme of it. Jason, is that the Jason one? Or no?
I don't know.
That may be their next game after that. I forget. I know of Hard Rain. But we got disconnected, and I am not entirely sure that we are back.
Oh yeah, no. Broadcast you were watching has ended.
Holy cow! What the heck?
Yeah, I don't know what happened. We're back.
What am I
We're back
doing with
now.
my life?
Reload your pages, everybody. We're back. We're back for now. Even though OBS just tells me I'm connecting. Whatever. So.
All right, yeah, we're back.
Okay. What the fuck?
Indigo Prophecy. We've learned a little bit about that. I'm going to play it now. I'll put that on my list here.
Yeah, I don't really have a favorite story one.
Didn't you play the Telltale Walking Dead games?
I played most of the first season,
Yeah.
Okay.
and then my cousin ruined the ending for it, so I never went back and finished like the last 2 or 3 episodes. I'm like, oh, I don't give, I stupid asshole.
Great job, Larry.
This is his brother.
Oh, great job, Harlan.
The next one I have on here is Hack and Slash. I know Chris has a favorite for this. I can guess what it is. Can I guess what it is?
Sure.
It's either Dying Light or the zombie one where you're on an island.
Dead Island?
Dead Island.
Dead Island.
No.
No? I picked Devil May Cry for this one. I love Devil May Cry. Chris has promised me for like 3 years that he'll share Devil May Cry 5 with me, but he has yet to do so. Just so everyone knows.
Sure.
Chris has
Not ready.
yet to share Devil May Cry 5 with me.
How do I share it with you?
We always talk about that. We're like, we'll do it later, and then we get drunk and we forget, and we don't talk about it ever again. So, yeah, Devil May Cry is really good. Anyone else have a hack and slash?
I
Dante's
don't
Inferno.
really.
Dante's Inferno is really good.
Yeah,
I actually
Jackie
been
did bring up the Dying Light. Oh, sorry. You go ahead. Go ahead.
no, I was saying I've been playing the Castlevania Shadows or Lords of Shadow. Yeah, Lords of Shadow. It's a hack and slash. It's pretty fun too. But yeah, Dante's Inferno kind of brought that to light. That was the first one I think that was really a hack and slash horror for the like God of War style of hack and slash. Anyone else?
Jackie brought up when I was talking to Jackie about horror games this week. She brought up Dying Light. I should have. I'm remiss to not bring it up during story or FPS. But she wanted to mention Last of Us. She is so in love with Last of Us 1 and 2, and of course,
Yeah.
season 2 of the show is getting ready to come out. So very awesome. The Last of Us haunted house at Halloween Horror Nights was fucking amazing.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was great.
That is I think a lot of people's favorite like horror story game. It's horror action, it's horror story, it's got a lot of facets to it for sure. But the I played through the first one, not the second one, but it is top tier horror game for sure. Chris, you have a favorite hack and slash?
I think I'm gonna say Dead Rising, the first one.
Yeah.
Which
It's so fun to just go through this all in different ways and try the different stuff.
yeah,
And the first time you get it, pick something up and you're like, I'm going to use this as a weapon, and then it doesn't do shit. It's like, oh,
I couldn't kill that zombie with the
But-
orange juice.
right.
That was the reason,
Wow.
the big reason I got a 360 back in the day, because this was the game that I wanted Resident Evil 2 to be when I first bought that, which is essentially a Romero simulator, which is how I approached Dead Rising 1.
Yep.
It's like barricade myself in, kill things. I don't give a shit about your story, Capcom. I'm sorry. And that's how I would play it. And
Jen and I played it with Matt and Chris one time, and they were able to like leapfrog over zombies and like fucking kill shit so quickly. Jen and I were just like, "This isn't for us."
oh, that was
It's not
Dying
fun.
Light. That was Dying Light.
Oh, what'd you say? Sorry.
Dead Rising.
Oh,
The-
Dead Rising. Yeah.
Then the mall, the first one
Yeah.
specifically.
Dying Light is the parkour zombies.
Yeah. Parkour zombies.
We were
yeah.
drop kicking shit and
Yeah,
literally-
you guys were like fucking killing everything, and Jenna was just like walking around with you. It was like, this is
fuck these.
I don't like
nerds.
this is boring. This is boring. All right, we got hack and slash. We got action. I'm gonna give mine first because I don't think Chris picked this, and I think he's gonna be sad that he didn't pick this. Undead Nightmare, which was a DLC for Red Dead Redemption, is the greatest fucking action zombie like shooter ever. It's so fucking good. It's amazing. It could be under also adventure like horror, but Undead Nightmare for Red Dead Redemption 1 was so fucking good. It's Rockstar needs to make a fucking city horror like the Division sort of game, but make zombies like headshot one death and figure it out, Rockstar. All right, I'll buy it 4 fucking times. I'll buy it for me. I'll buy it for my wife. I'll buy it for Chris. I'll buy it for one of these guys because no one ever does five player co-op. So Dave or Jeff, you guys got to fight to the death for it. But I'll buy it 4 times. You got 4 sales right there. All right, so make a fucking co-op zombie game. But yeah, Undead Nightmare is so fucking good.
Yes, I'm fine picking that as the second person. Yep, that one.
What did you have originally? Anything?
I just really just wrote a bunch of games down. I didn't go by genre, so
Oh, gotcha.
yeah, that I go with that. That's a great one.
Action horror. Anyone?
Extermination.
Termination. What was that on?
PS2. Probably Xbox.
Termination survival game.
Yeah.
PlayStation 2.
I do not recall this game.
It was used as a showcase for the system at trade shows. I don't recall this one.
So this was an early PS2 game,
Looks like it.
2001. So what was good? What was good about this game, Jeff?
Well, it's kind of like being in the thing, you know, because you're in a frozen camp that, you know, a lab that's there, and there's, you know, creatures that are escaping the lab and infecting everything. So you gotta basically just run and gun.
This
shoot
is.
things.
I'm looking at the playthrough. It is Dead Space meets Resident Evil, 100%.
Yeah.
Dead Space is also. It's on my list, but it's a fantastic horror game. But yeah, it's
Fantastic.
Dead Space meets Resident Evil for sure.
But it was
The
before
voice
Dead Space.
acting is terrible. I'm listening to it. It's real bad. But
Dave,
it's great.
action.
I mean, Left 4 Dead, any of the Resident Evils. The first couple are like lower, but after 3, 4 is one of my favorite games of all time. And it is action. You know, there's. Can you just hold the trigger down and run through the game? No, there's not that much ammo, but it's not so scarce that you can't that you really have to worry about. Oh, do I shoot this guy or run? No, there's enough ammo to kill everybody.
Yeah.
So
All right.
yeah, I'll say that. I'll say Resident Evil 4. The part when you first get in the village and you got to kill like 30 dudes and the chainsaw sack with it, and that is pure action and adrenaline. It's so fun.
It's
And
amazing.
the first time I played it, I died so many times.
I think
we have survival horror. My pick for this one is Resident Evil 0. It's really, really good. It really brings a lot to light that the original Resident Evil didn't do because they couldn't, because it wasn't fleshed out as much. Resident Evil 0 is the best prequel game I've ever played. It's one of the only prequel games I've ever played. Let's count like Legend of Zelda. But it's really, really good. It has the tank controls. It has the weird sort of like, look before you run sort of deal to it. But it's really, really good. So good, in fact, they're making a movie on it. So
there is one video game that was a prequel to Resident Evil, set even before Resident Evil 0. I don't know if you ever played it. You're a doctor and you are building the T virus. I think they called it Dr. Mario.
Yeah. I have played Dr. Mario. I am horrendously bad at puzzle games, so I never beat it. But I have played it.
I'm pretty boss at Dr. Mario.
Good soundtrack too, I think, from what I remember.
Boop, 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 boop,
Or maybe it was terrible. It was great or terrible. Fuck.
I really don't know.
You're making me doubt myself.
At this point, that would be my soundtrack guess for everything.
Honorable mention for this one is The Forest or The Sons of the Forest. Either one. Because it's like you're surviving, but it's also horror. Like it's pretty great. So The Forest or Sons of the Forest, top notch. Survival horror. But yeah, Resident Evil 0 it's amazing. The characters are provocative. There's a will they, won't they sort of like love thing going on with it. It's fun. It's good. Anyone else? Survival horror. Anyone else have a survival horror pick?
I'm cold. I'm hot. I'm cold. I'm hungry. I'm hot. No.
Metro 2033.
Yes. Metro is super good. Because your bullets are your currency, and they're also your fucking way to deal with shit. That is a great fucking premise for a survival horror game. 100%.
I have read a lot about the Metro games, and I've always wanted to play them, but I never have.
They're good. They're very good. It's like 9mm, like your pennies, and your fucking are your dollars, and like your 223s, your $20 bills, and it's good. Adventure horror, newly added because of Jeff here. I'm gonna pick Blood Omen 2, where you play as Cain, the original vampire, and you regain your powers as you venture through and you kill a bunch of. It's very Mega Man-esque. You kill Lord vampires to gain their powers, to get all your powers back. It's really good. But Soul Reaver would be. I assume Jeff's pick. Which Soul Reaver though, Jeff?
The first one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a good one. Raphael.
Legacy of Cain.
Michelangelo, he's my favorite.
Winslow?
There was an Xbox 360 game that came out called Blood Omen Defiance. Raphael and Cain team up. You have to use their different powers to get through levels. It's a lot of fun.
Nice.
Any other adventure horror fans out there?
I think it'd probably fall more puzzle, but how about the horror of the Portal games?
Yes.
Yeah.
So that could be adventure, that could be puzzle. because it's very episodic with the different levels. So I think it would fall under more under puzzle. But
Chris and I have beat Portal 2 together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Matt and I did Portal 2 together. Once we quit trolling each other.
I think the horror of that game was that was the first game we tried to YouTube, and we were trying to figure out how sound worked. There's a whole YouTube montage of us figuring out sound, like how to get our voices correct to the game audio.
The Cave Johnson in the second one is one of my favorite things.
Yes, J.K. Simmons.
Yep. So good.
It is great.
There's, I mean, it's point and click, but it's, I mean, I always considered those kind of adventure games. I've never played it, but I love the story of it, so I owe it to myself to play it at some point. So I'm just going to say that it's my favorite, even though I've never played it, because let's be real. I can't read.
Read's for nerds. It's
It is, I have no mouth and I must scream, which I've wanted to play for a long time. And the story is great, and I need to...
It's a game?
There is a old school point and click kind of adventure game. I think it may just be on PC, but I need to play it because that story is one of my favorites.
Okay.
Done, and we're on to the next one. Dave Grohl.
Well, I am out of genres. Are there any genres you guys want to bring up?
I wanted to bring up one thing. Jeff, did you have something?
There's one on his list, comedy horror.
Oh, comedy horror. I'm sorry. I didn't put that on my notes here. Dead Rising is my comedy horror pick for sure. Dead Rising is hilarious. The different ways you can kill zombies, put different shit together to like kill, like Lollipop. What was that?
Lollipop
The
Chainsaw.
cheerleaders. Lollipop Chainsaw. I never played it, but I know that like is in the same realm. But like Dead Rising was so fucking funny. Like putting the Lego Man head on your face and then like going around and like with the bow staff chainsaws was peak comedy. It was so good. So yeah, Dead Rising was my pick for that one.
I concur. I concur.
Great.
That's such a good one.
Evil Dead?
Regeneration.
Oh, okay.
Is that the one that had the little
one-
guy?
Yeah, the little zombie that Ted Raimi played.
I never played that one. I always wanted to.
Yeah. Yeah, you can borrow it.
I don't. I had one of the one before that, or maybe like two before that one, and it was cool because like they made the cabin exactly what it was, but it was so hard to play.
Yeah, that first Evil Dead game was really hard. Evil Dead: A Fistful of Boomstick.
Yes.
Was so much better.
Or fuck, was that not Fistful of Boomstick?
Sequel forever. Never
You had
came.
a Fistful of Boomstick, Chris. I played it.
I gotta look.
THQ, man.
I'm gonna say that my favorite comedy horror is probably still Zombies Ate My Neighbors, because just the level names alone, I was like, hold on, I gotta look up some of these levels, because Zombie Panic, Terror on Aisle 5, Lumberjack Hedge Maze Mayhem, Dr. Tongue's Castle of Terror, Titanic Toddler, Zombie House Party.
Zombie House Party.
The level names were enough to sell that alone. I had Hail to the King.
It was such a good game.
Evil Dead Hail to the King is the one that I had to find it. That one can eat a whole ass. And they're charging $100 on Amazon right now. Don't spend your money on that shit. If I could make $2 off of it, I'd go find mine and sell it. That game, but it was cool, but it sucked, but it was cool, kind of.
If we're all out of genres, well, we've got a game.
What's the game?
That's too creepy.
It is Name That Horror Video Game. Fancy prizes. We got to develop some music here. First one's very easy, guys. I'll describe the video game. You tell me what the name of that video game is. These are actual video games. First one's super easy. Get you off to a good start. Space Marine battles demons in a future Mars colony.
Doom.
Doom. All right, there we go. We're off to a good start. A benevolent corporation attempting to develop drugs to combat many modern ailments battles sabotage and unjust law enforcement investigation.
Dr. Mario.
Resident Evil.
But you said Dr. Mario.
Resident Evil.
You said Dr. Mario.
That's the prequel. Let's see.
Half a credit.
You find yourself unexpectedly visiting a capitalistic utopia. Surprise, motherfucker! Unfettered capitalism is incapable of producing utopias. Instead, you are visiting the apocalyptic nightmare of end-stage capitalism without the guardrails of regulation or morality.
Bioshock.
It was mentioned tonight. What?
Bioshock.
Bioshock. All right.
There we go.
Two more. These go stretch your brains here. Remember, not all horror games are horror to the protagonist. You play a tradesman turned hero, but have absolutely no regard for the collateral damage you inflict upon the civilian population that unwittingly find themselves under the spell of the evil sex trafficker kingpin.
Dr. Mario.
Super Mario.
Star
Super
Wars.
Mario Bros. Bowser has turned the mushroom people into bricks, and you just go around smashing them, you motherfucker.
Half credit.
Half credit, I'll give it to you.
I got one whole point now.
All right. I only have one more. I ran out of time. A man fueled by constant hunger and a thirst for power is continually being chased through a maze environment by four ghosts.
Donald Trump.
Constant hunger.
Pac-Man?
And a thirst for
Pac-Man.
Pac-Man. There we go. Pac-Man. Congratulations.
Dave
So,
wins.
No prizes for you.
Dave didn't give us a painting
Nope.
this week.
I didn't give you I didn't do any painting this week. I did some last week. So I did buy a Bob Ross calendar. I know we're already almost a quarter of the way through the year, but I bought a Bob Ross calendar where each month is just the outline, and you get to paint your own. Paint it yourself.
Nice.
Expand my skills. And I stopped on the way home one day and took a lot of reference photos of the library in Columbus. And my goal is to start painting some of the architectural spots in Columbus, but sneak in little monsters or villains here and there in the painting and see.
That
Columbus, Indiana is known as the Athens of the Midwest. If you guys didn't know that.
Because it flooded?
No, because there's a lot of
Because
architecture.
of all the gay sex.
Because gays
too.
and floods? Flood of gays?
Gays and floods.
Gays and floods, that's what they're known for.
I just got
Sometimes-
this
Sometimes floods are crazy.
Oh, shit.
a couple weeks ago
I
on my
love
birthday.
floods.
And me and Fonda played that over the weekend, and it was a lot of fun. She didn't, she's never read Lovecraft, so she wasn't getting any of the things, but she still had fun with it. But I'm like, that's Yog-Sothoth, and that's Azathoth, that's a Shoggoth, and she's like, whatever, this is what it is right now. That's our goal.
Bless you.
And it was great. It was great fun.
I love Flux. It is a fun game.
So,
Oh, sorry. tabletop horror.
Call of Cthulhu.
Forgot about this one. Call of Cthulhu.
Which I've never got to play with other people. I've played solo. I've read a lot about it. Can't wait to play it with other people one day and sometime. But I love Cthulhu and Lovecraft. So
I played a little bit of Ravenloft back in the day and had a lot of fun.
Jeff, you got anything?
The
Tabletop. Shining has a tabletop game?
Yeah.
That's dope. I don't. What
You
is that
son
about?
of a bitch.
I never got a chance to really play it. It was a present for me, but we opened it up. We were gonna play it, but yeah, I can't remember what any of the directions were supposed to be. We were trying to figure it out.
One of those games.
Yeah.
So Dungeons and Dragons. I mean, I put Monty Cook's World of Darkness on there for you guys because it has like a whole Lovecraftian sort of aspect to it. But Dungeons and Dragons with the right DM, peak fucking horror aesthetic. It's so good. You guys don't play Dungeons and Dragons, you absolutely should. It's a great cooperative storytelling game. It's so good. So D&D tabletop or campaign, you can absolutely do.
there you have it. Is that our conclusion?
I think so.
My OBS is 7 different ways to fucked right now. It still says connecting. I have no stats on as far as speed and stuff goes, but
Yep.
I have no. It's going better now than it was earlier. Stupid fucking. I don't even know what. But anyways, next week, everybody is back to the movies for the Horror House Boys.
Yep.
I think it is a Tim movie again. Your next movie.
For me,
Yep. I can't.
totally killer.
Totally killer. What year? We got that?
It's 2024, I think. 2023.
3 or 4. It was I think a made for Netflix.
Yeah, but it looked fun. I just wanted to
It
get to fun. I feel like we'll delve down, right? Like we have Tim's pick, then we have like Dave's pick, and then we have Chris's pick, and then Jeff is the real sick motherfucker out of all of us. So he'll pick something real fucking weird and fucking just dark and just bring us to the depths of our souls. And then we'll come back and do a real life episode. It'll be fine. But yeah, Jeff's a real sadistic fuck. So look forward to that in 4 weeks.
I've already begun my deep dive into the next IRL episode that we've got coming up. And I finally finished Blue Velvet, the David Lynch.
Ooh.
And I am confused now. If he's a good movie maker or if he, like, people that like David Lynch like to smell their own farts. I'm not sure because it's such a fucking
Weird.
It's a movie.
Yeah.
It's a movie.
That's
It's a movie that was
man.
Yep. Yeah. And he plays such a
It's a
weird
movie.
character, and Laura Dern is like, she's not a bad actress. So is she
not
being
nitrous
told
enough?
to be a bad actress for this movie? Because she's terrible in this movie. And I get the feeling it's intentionally bad, and I don't understand why. I don't understand this movie.
What was he sucking
I
down in that
recommend it. I
mask?
recommend it to
Nitrous.
everybody.
Nitrous
What's
oxide?
that?
Is he sucking down nitrous in the movie?
That was the joke in
The-
Biodome. I don't know though.
Yes. Yeah, he is constantly like,
Oh, I'm
They-
slutty. Oh, I'm slutty. That was the Biodome
there's
joke.
there's a disguise. Like
Look at
at
Bill
one
Platypus.
point he wears a disguise to commit his crimes, but other times he's not wearing a disguise to commit his crimes. So the disguise is like superfluous to the story. The
Is that the movie where Dennis Hopper goes, "Daddy wants to fuck"?
yep.
Oh God,
That is it.
I forgot
Like,
about
oh
that.
my
It's such a. There's so many bizarre filmmaking choices in this movie. Like it's just I don't understand.
All right. Well, if we see anybody next weekend pimping a blue velvet shirt, we'll switch sides of the street.
But keep in mind, next week, no episode, I don't think.
It's Thursday.
No, why not?
Oh, no, sorry, next week, Thursday. Week after that, though, are we going to, like, do an episode just about Whorehound, or are we going to do an episode about a movie, too?
We'll probably just do Horror Hound. Well, I don't know. That's what we did last time, and just kind of
We'll find out.
Figure it out on the fly. Yeah.
So who knows?
There we go.
I don't know. You have to stick around and find out. But we're out here. Our internet's running out. Internet's getting real low.
Real low.
I actually don't know if I'm going to be able to stop the stream because it's still connected.
Shut down your computer.
I can't do that, Chief. It goes to sleep. And then I wake it up. Because I'm afraid it will never start again with how my computers have been.
It's true.
I really shouldn't even put it to sleep if I'm being honest. Can you describe a wine to me? Because never mind. It's fine. It's okay. Electrical smells are fine though, right? Mostly.
Right.
Slight ones.
Mostly.
I mean, that's
Run.
Run. Okay.
Run. Yeah.
Same cemetery, different grave next week. We'll see everybody next time. Maybe.
Later.
Stay creepy.
Hi, Poppy. Daddy wants to fuck.